What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Check them out. But first, stay on this one. So this is going to be a very interesting video. And before I even really get into it, I am going to say there's going to be kind of a lack of variety here. Why? Because when you get to a certain price point of firearm, especially with handguns, you're really only looking at one or two different platforms here. One of them being the 2011. Which is actually all three of these firearms realistically are. Some people are going to be like, oh, well, it's a double stack 9mm 1911. I really don't care if you're going to argue between the difference of the two. I really don't. But moving on, let's get right into it. The three most expensive handguns I have ever shot personally. And are they worth the price? Now, these handguns that I have shot, guys, are ridiculously expensive. Let me start by saying that. When I say ridiculously expensive, I mean like let me put it like this. The only way I would ever go out of my way to buy these guns is if I struck it rich. I hit the lottery, somebody left me a ton of money, whatever the deal is. For starters, we're going to start with the Atlas Artemis. If I'm not mistaken, the price point for the Atlas Artemis is somewhere around $6,000, somewhere around there. Phenomenal trigger, phenomenal reset, phenomenal shooting gun. Almost everything about it is phenomenal. And you're going to hear me say that a lot, guys, because again, these are very, very expensive guns. They are designed and built to just be great shooting guns. Plain and simple. Like, I don't think anybody is going to disagree with me about these guns when I say that they're just built and designed to be great shooting guns, especially for the price point. If they're not great shooting guns, I would be heated. I mean, I get it. Some guns, the price point isn't a matter of the quality of how it shoots. It's more, some could be more so like a historical piece, whatever it could be, right? I get there are other reasons why a firearm could be very expensive, but all three of these guns I'm listing here are really expensive 2011s. So when I say they're designed to shoot phenomenally, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me on that. But moving on, the Atlas Artemis shoots great, phenomenal, great capacity. Obviously, 9mm, single action only. One of the best triggers I've ever felt in my life. One of. Again, if I'm not mistaken on this, the price point for the Atlas Artemis is somewhere around $6,000. It might be more, it might be a little bit less. Please don't quote me on that one. However, I am like 99% sure out of the three I'm about to list, that is the least expensive firearm on the list. Least. And no, I don't own any of these guns. Let me also say that, guys. I do not own any of these firearms. I have just been very lucky enough to know somebody who does own these firearms and is very happy to let other people, including myself, shoot them. So, moving on, though, from the Atlas Artemis, we're going to move on to the Atlas Erebus. The Atlas Erebus might be my favorite on this list. Now, maybe it's because I don't have too much shooting experience with the next gun I'm about to list, but I can truthfully say I have put probably 500 rounds through this Atlas Erebus, if not more. I mean, every time this guy comes in to shoot, he's letting me shoot like 50 or so rounds, if not more, and just, first off, great dude. I mean, the fact that he's just like, hey, Mark, come shoot, beyond phenomenal. But truthfully, I could say if I wanted to, I could do a gun review on the Atlas Erebus because I've shot it so much and put so many rounds through it. I just don't have enough shooting content for that. That's besides the point, though. The Atlas Erebus is, oh my gosh, it is great. Probably the best trigger I have ever felt in my life, to say the least. Like, I genuinely mean that this is probably the best trigger I have ever felt. So smooth to rack. When I say smooth, I mean I legitimately just curled my one finger. And I wish I still had the video. I took the video and showed my wife because in the video I was laughing like a goofy kid in a candy store because I was just so, but I legitimately was sitting there racking the slide of the Atlas Erebus with one finger just curved like this. And it's not like I was applying a ton of pressure to do so. It was just, I was just giving it a slight little pinch. And it's so butter smooth that you could rack it with one finger, guys. It's amazing. Like, it is phenomenal. The price point for the Atlas Erebus is somewhere around $7,500. Again, not a cheap gun, guys. All of these guns are going to be very expensive, and the next one only gets more expensive. Okay, the Atlas Erebus, though, I genuinely will say might be my favorite on the list. It's great shooting, super flat shooting. As a matter of fact, if you guys want to see how it shoots, I do have a video on shorts of me shooting it, so you guys can go check that out. But just phenomenal trigger. Everything about it has just been great. How it shoots, great. I can't stress enough how much I like the Atlas Erebus. Moving on, though, this one might be one that some people are a bit more hyped about, the TTI Sandviper. And that gun is really dope. I'm not going to lie. That gun is really cool. But the Sandviper, I haven't gotten to put too many rounds through. With a starting point with at least Sandviper I shot came with the SRO on it. So that package deal was about $8,500. So then that's, of course, pre-tax, all of that. But it shot great, has a great trigger. It's super flat shooting. That's not the issue. It was awesome. I just haven't had a chance to put really that many rounds through it, which more than fine, understandable. So I don't want to sit here and say, oh, well, I like the Atlas over the TTI Sandviper, because honestly, putting some more rounds through it possibly in the future, I might like the Sandviper more than the Erebus. But at the moment, at least, I can say I think the Erebus is my favorite out of the three. But I mean, don't take that as me knocking on the Sandviper or me saying that it's a bad gun or anything like that. Far from it. It shoots great. It has a great trigger reset. And if you get the package with the SRO, I mean, you are ready to go. It is phenomenal. All three of these guns are great shooting guns. I mean, again, for the price point, they better be great shooting guns. That's what they're designed to be, is great shooting guns. But with that being said, I do think that about wraps it up for this video. Could I ever justify making these purchases for these specific guns? Probably not anytime in the near future. I don't think the majority of us could. There are some people, of course, who are in very different financial situations, and that's okay, good for you. That's a blessing from God right there, That's, of course, a different situation. But for the majority of people, I don't recommend you go out and buy these guns, because you probably don't have the money to buy them, and that's fine. I don't have the money to buy them. I don't own them. I have just been blessed enough to be able to have experience with these guns and shoot them. Some of them as much as I have, at least 500 rounds, if not more. You see what I mean? But with that being said, I do think that about wraps it up for this video. Y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all in. Whether or not you agree with me about my thoughts on these three firearms. Again, these are the three most expensive firearms I have ever shot. But do I think that they're worth the average Joe going out of their way to buy? Probably not, considering it. The price point is just really, really up there. I mean, again, guys, the Sandviper with the SRO, pre-tax, pre-fees, costs $8,500. So, again, they're phenomenal guns. Great guns. If you have the money to just spare like that, yeah, I would recommend you give them a look and go and buy them. But other than that, y'all make sure to comment down below your thoughts, whether or not you like the content in this video. Make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.